Okay, so for all the swing uh, nerds out there, what we want to do is we want to take a look at Rory and see something he does that is pretty amazing and how he gets so much distance and the things he can do in his swing that create that. So I have two different swings here loaded up, and they're very similar, even though they're different times and places. But let's take a look at a couple things I like to look at in a swing and things I try to teach or copy, so I can get the power that we're all looking for. Here's one of the things I like to do initially, and let's just do the initial setup in yellow. Is I like to mark this angle here on the left of the screen, going from the ground up the back of the leg over to the butt, right in there. And you see that's 152 degrees. And that, for me, that's a very important piece of the puzzle when it comes to creating so much power in the golf swing. Okay, a couple of things also we're going to keep an eye on is the head, where we start. So just kind of, there's the top of the head. We'll look at it on the right side as well, so we can kind of compare everything. That's close. Also, I also like to start with the swing plane, so we can just see where he's going throughout his golf swing. Is he on plane? Is he dropping it inside? Taking it back outside? All that good stuff. And the face-on view, again, we can do the same, just kind of where the shaft is and the hands. And I'll do the hands in a little circle. I like to do all our little startup positions where we begin. And so I'll do Rory's, kind of his right hand here on the startup, just small circle where he started. And I'll do the same thing on the right side, just his right hand, small yellow circle where we begin. Then I'm ready to go, and we're going to take a look at what's the first phase of Rory's power. And on the left side, I take this up to the top and just like to see perfect positions. And watch this. Watch his knees here. Okay? This is why I measured that with an angle degree here at the beginning, because I like to go right from there to when his knees match up again on a downswing. And so we're coming into his knees, and right there, they've matched up. So again, I'm going to mark that angle, and let's do that one in red. And we're going to do the same thing from the ground, up the back of his pants, over to his butt. 119. So he started at 152, and now he's 119. That's 33 degrees, okay, of a squat. You take it back, and he squats down, boom. He's bending those knees, he's compressing his quads, and his glute is dropping. 33 degrees of compression there. And that's really power, is what he's doing. So what does that do? Well, as you can see, his head has dropped considerably from where he began. And then it continues. This is probably the lowest point in his swing. Right there. So, this is inches and this is degrees. So you can kind of do some math and figure out, okay, did that equal, he dropped down this much here, which equals that. Now, what does he do to make up that distance? Otherwise, he'll hit way behind the ball. So he has to make up that loss of distance somehow in his swing, which is all from power. And as you notice, he comes into the ball, he's right on plane, right how he started, and then at impact, his hand is now higher. So he made up some distance here. Another place he made up distance, obviously, his shoulders, as you can see, are a bit open. And his hips have also rotated. So the hip rotation, the shoulders opening, and the hands being higher, make up all the distance. That's why when people say, oh, people used to criticize Tiger for dropping down on his during his swing, which it's not a big deal as long as you are doing other things to make up for it, which Rory does. And it's just an athletic move. As you can see on the right, you're not going to see the knee squat so much as you do in the down the line view, but you certainly see his knee. If you start at the beginning and you do a little angle on his knee in yellow here, and you just kind of go up here and you get that little angle. It's, and you could see it drop and squat down. Notice the knee doesn't come in. It stays right where it's at, for as long as he can hold it. And then he's rotating the hips. He squat down. He rotates those hips through. And those arms are, that right elbow is slightly bent, which, again, that's part of how he's making up for the dropping down. And if you can do all this, great. Then now he's leaping into the air and releasing everything. And probably the fastest point of his swing is after he hit the ball. But in here, it's all rotation, all power from the ground up using his quads. And he's leaping up and striking that ball and releasing through. And where are his hands at impact? Right there. Notice his right hand is, if we do the same type of circle, it's forward. And we know from this here on the left, it's higher. So that red is at impact and it's higher. And on the right, you notice it's a few inches more forward. Although he's still hitting up on the ball. As you can see here on the left, he's just slightly coming up on the ball. So all these numbers put together equal a lot of distance. Pound for pound, probably one of the longest players out there on tour. And then all that power comes from this move right in here. That 33 degrees of squat. Right in there. Now I try this when I practice. I'm lucky to get 15 degrees of squat. I'm more like 10 is like my average max. And if I really feel strange, I can get to 15. But Rory has 33. So, I mean, you figure it out. That is a tough position if you're not used to it. But once you get it, forget about it. You're going to be hitting that ball for miles, just like Rory does. But he is somewhat golf superhuman. So just strive for the best you can do. That's the move you want to get, is that right there, squat down, and from there, everything falls into place. That club will drop backwards. See a club head come up on the top, and then his hands fall behind him a little bit. It's from that squat move. So always work from here up. If you're having trouble with your swing and you want to fix something up top, start down here. Get this squat move down first, and then work your way up the ladder. That's how I like to do it. Okay? If you have a horrible grip, maybe start there, but then go right to the feet, work up from there, and hopefully one day you can, drop in the slot like that and finish something like that. And over on this right side, if all the cards fall your way, you could be 5'9"-ish and bomb at 330 like Rory. All right? So best of luck to you out there. Work on that squat down move and give it all you got.